Hey, Cowboys Nation, this is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. There are moments in sports where a single move can shift the entire balance of power, and this is one of those moments. The rumor is heating up, and the buzz is loud. ESPN is reportedly confirming that the Cowboys are making a massive move to bring in Myles Garrett. Now, before you jump to conclusions, remember that this is still in the realm of speculation, but the sources are coming from a place that usually does not make such claims lightly. If this actually happens, it would be the kind of trade that changes the narrative around the team instantly, turning a good defense into a feared unit. People are already imagining what Garrett would do in that Cowboys uniform, how his presence could transform the entire defensive scheme. The Cowboys have always been known for their star power, but this would be an upgrade of a different level, one that could shift the franchise's identity. The rumor alone is enough to create a frenzy among fans, and the social media reactions are already going wild. If this trade materializes, it could be the start of something historic, or it could end up being the biggest what-if in recent memory. And the timing of this speculation is what makes it even more intense. The Cowboys are not a team that usually makes blockbuster moves in the middle of a season, but the idea of adding Myles Garrett feels like a statement. It would signal that the front office is willing to go all in, that they are not afraid to shake the roster and take a huge risk for a huge reward. Garrett is not just a good player. He is a game changer, a disruptor who forces offenses to adjust their entire approach. Imagine the pressure that would put on opposing quarterbacks, the way he would command double teams and open opportunities for others. It would also change the way the Cowboys can defend the run, because teams would have to respect his speed and power. The entire defense would benefit, and the secondary would feel safer knowing they have a dominant presence up front. But the big question is, what would it cost? What would the Cowboys have to give up to secure a player of that caliber? That's where the speculation gets spicy, because it would not be a small trade. It would require sacrifice. And sacrifice always comes with controversy. There is also the storyline of Myles Garrett himself. He has been one of the most dominant defensive players in the league, and his name alone carries weight. The idea of him landing in Dallas is a dream scenario for many Cowboys fans, but it also raises questions about chemistry and fit. Garrett is a force, and sometimes forces need a system that can handle their intensity. The Cowboys would have to adjust their defensive approach, and the coaching staff would need to find the best way to maximize his talents without disrupting what already works. It is not just about adding a superstar. It is about integrating him into a system that has the balanced talent and cohesion. But if anyone can do it, the Cowboys might be the ones. They have a history of building around elite players and creating a culture of expectation. Garrett would not just be a player, he would be a statement of intent. A sign that the Cowboys are not satisfied with being good, they want to be unstoppable. The rumor itself is enough to make fans dream, and that's why it is spreading like wildfire. Now, consider the ripple effects this would have on the rest of the roster. Adding Garrett would mean the Cowboys might have to part with key pieces, perhaps even some young talent that has been developing. It would not be a simple transaction, it would be a franchise-altering decision. The team would need to balance the cost of acquiring him with the long-term health of the roster. Some fans might be thrilled, while others might be worried about what they are giving up. It is the classic debate: do you trade the future for the present? The Cowboys have always been a team that chases championships, and if they believe Garrett is the missing piece, they might be willing to make that gamble. The speculation alone is enough to spark debates in living rooms and online forums. People are already imagining which players could be on the table, and what the Cowboys might do to make this trade work. The truth is, a deal like this would not happen without serious thought, and the Cowboys are known for their calculated risks. The defensive impact would be immediate. Garrett would not need time to adjust. He is a proven player, and he knows how to dominate. Opponents would have to prepare differently, and the Cowboys would have a new identity on defense. The team could become more aggressive, more intimidating, and more capable of changing the momentum of games. Garrett is the type of player who can turn a single play into a defining moment, and the Cowboys would benefit from that kind of energy. Imagine the crowd reaction when he steps onto the field. The way the entire stadium would rise in anticipation, it would be electric, and it would send a message to the rest of the league. But with great power comes great responsibility. The Cowboys would have to manage his usage and keep him healthy, because he is a player who can change everything when he is on the field. The speculation is exciting, but it also raises concerns about the physical toll and how the team would protect their investment. And finally, the biggest question remains, will it actually happen? The rumor is strong, the sources are credible, and the excitement is real. But nothing is confirmed. The Cowboys have been linked to big moves before, and sometimes those links lead to nothing. But the mere possibility of Myles Garrett joining Dallas is enough to make this one of the most talked about rumors in recent memory. Fans are already imagining the future, the potential playoff runs, and the way the defense could dominate. The speculation has created a new level of anticipation. And even if the trade never happens, the conversation itself has changed the narrative around the Cowboys. It has made the team feel more aggressive, more ambitious, and more dangerous. That is the power of a rumor like this. It can change expectations, alter mindsets, and create a new level of excitement. So, whether it happens or not, one thing is clear, the Cowboys have everyone talking, and the league is watching. The more you think about it, the more you realize that this rumor is not just about adding a player. It is about shifting the culture. The Cowboys have always had star power, but they have struggled with consistency. Bringing in Myles Garrett would be a move that signals a new era, a new level of urgency. It would be a message to the rest of the league that Dallas is not content with being in the conversation. They want to dominate it. Garrett is not just a defender, he is a symbol of dominance. The way he plays is aggressive, relentless, and fearless. Those are the traits that can elevate a team from good to legendary. The speculation is not just about the trade. It is about what the trade represents. It is about ambition, about hunger, about a franchise that is willing to bet everything on a championship dream. And that kind of move is the stuff of legends. Fans are already imagining the future, and that alone is powerful. It is the kind of rumor that can change the entire atmosphere around a team, making every game feel more important. But let us not forget the human side of this. Myles Garrett is not just a player, he is a person with emotions, with a career, with a legacy. Moving to a new team is not easy, and the pressure of joining the Cowboys would be immense. Dallas is a city that expects greatness, and the spotlight is always bright. Garrett would be stepping into a world of scrutiny, where every play is analyzed and every mistake is magnified. That is the reality of being a superstar in Dallas, but some players thrive in that environment. Some players rise to the occasion and become legends. Garrett has already shown that he can handle pressure, and he has already proven himself as one of the best in the league. The speculation is exciting because it would be a new challenge for him, a new stage to prove his greatness. If he is willing to embrace the spotlight, the Cowboys could become a team that is feared across the league. The rumor is thrilling, but it also comes with a sense of uncertainty. That is what makes it so captivating. Now, think about the offensive implications. Adding a dominant defender like Garrett would change the way the Cowboys approach games. Offenses would have to respect the defensive pressure, which could open up opportunities for the offense to be more aggressive. The entire team would benefit from the added confidence. The Cowboys could become a more balanced team, one that can dominate on both sides of the ball. That is the kind of transformation that can lead to deep playoff runs. But the trade would also require the Cowboys to adjust their strategy. They would need to ensure that the offense remains strong while the defense becomes more dominant. It is a delicate balance, but it is possible. The speculation is not just about the defense, it is about the entire team. The Cowboys would need to find a way to integrate Garrett without disrupting the chemistry. That is the challenge of any blockbuster move, but if they succeed, the payoff could be enormous. There is also the question of leadership. Garrett is a veteran, a leader, and a player who commands respect. The Cowboys would be gaining more than just talent. They would be gaining a voice in the locker room. The presence of a leader like Garrett could elevate the entire team, creating a stronger culture of accountability and intensity. That is the kind of change that can lead to long-term success. The speculation is exciting because it would not just be a one-time boost. It would be a lasting transformation. The Cowboys could become a team that is built around toughness, discipline, and dominance. That is the kind of identity that can win championships, but it would also require the team to embrace the change. The Cowboys would need to be willing to adjust their mindset and their approach. That is the true challenge of a move like this. The rumor is thrilling, but it is also a test of the team's ambition. Of course, the biggest concern is the cost. A trade for Myles Garrett would not be cheap, and the Cowboys would likely have to part with significant assets. That is the part of the speculation that makes fans nervous. Who would the Cowboys give up? Which young players would be traded away? Would the team sacrifice the future for the present? These are the questions that keep the rumor alive, because they are the hardest part of the decision. The Cowboys would need to weigh the cost against the potential reward. It is a gamble, and gambles do not always pay off. But if the Cowboys believe Garrett is the missing piece, they might be willing to take that risk. The speculation is intense because it is not just about the player. It is about the franchise's vision. The Cowboys would be saying they are not afraid to go all in. That is a bold statement. And bold statements are the ones that change the course of history. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. The rumor also raises the question of the rest of the league's reaction. If the Cowboys were to acquire Garrett, other teams would have to respond. The entire landscape would shift, and the balance of power would change. Teams would need to adjust their strategies, and the pressure would increase. The Cowboys would become the team everyone is chasing. That is the kind of transformation that can create a new era in the league. The speculation is exciting because it would not just affect Dallas. It would affect everyone. The Cowboys would be making a statement that they are not just contenders, they are a threat. The rumor alone is enough to change the narrative, and that is why it is spreading so fast. Fans are already imagining the future, and the anticipation is building, whether it happens or not. The conversation has already changed, so where does that leave us? We are in the middle of a storm of speculation, with credible sources suggesting that the Cowboys are ready to make a move. That could change everything. The rumor is powerful, the excitement is real, and the potential impact is massive, but until there is confirmation, it remains a rumor, a speculation, a possibility that keeps fans on the edge of their seats. The Cowboys have always been a team that thrives on drama, and this rumor is no exception. It has created a new level of anticipation, and it has made the team feel more dangerous. The league is watching, the fans are buzzing, and the rumor is growing. Whether it becomes reality or fades away, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have everyone talking. And that is exactly what a blockbuster rumor is supposed to do, ultimately. The reinstatement of this championship by the NFL has transformed the Dallas Cowboys from a team defined by near misses into an organization operating under a new paradigm of validation, momentum, and opportunity, one that reverberates across every facet of the franchise and beyond. Players, coaches, fans, and the broader football ecosystem now perceive the Cowboys not merely as competitors, but as a symbol of resilience and rightful triumph. A team whose renewed identity may influence rivalries, strategic thinking, recruitment, market engagement, and cultural perception for years to come. The narrative power of historical correction, combined with the tangible psychological advantages it generates, positions the Cowboys in a rare space where history, ambition, and strategy intersect, creating excitement, speculation, and a renewed sense of inevitability around their future. Rumors will continue to swirl, stories will continue to be told, and the legacy of this moment will ripple through professional football, demonstrating how one league decision, belated though it may be, can reignite a franchise, inspire a city, and reshape the perception of an entire sport. The Dallas Cowboys, with history now on their side, appear ready to embrace this momentum and transform speculation into achievement on every conceivable level. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.